So angels were created before God formed the earth. Before God created anything, He created angels. Job chapter 38 from verse 4 to 7. This is God's response to Job. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell if you have understanding. Who has set its measurements, for you know? Oh, who has stretched the line of it? On what are its bases sunk? And who caused its cornerstones? It talks about the foundations of the earth. That there is foundation, there is line, there is restrictions and measurements that are placed upon the earth. Verse 7, chapter 38, verse 7. Listen to this. When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy. Sons of God. What did they do? They shouted for joy. So, in this text now, God Himself is speaking to Job, and what He's speaking to him about the creation of earth. How the earth was created, the measurements and the foundations of the earth. He says, do you know the measurements? Do you know the stretched line? Do you know the foundation that is sunk in? That's why it can't be moved. This is the earth. Do you know all these things? When I was doing all of that, and my sons were singing and they were shouting with joy. Listen to this now. When God, this is happening now. When God was creating the earth, angels in choirs were singing. Like, you know, like a craftsman, when he's doing his work and he got a music. This is what's happening. He says, I was creating, I was stretching the line of the earth. I was digging the foundations, I was doing the measurements, while my sons were singing and shouting for joy. Where were you then? Because there was nothing else. So before He created anything, He created His sons. So they are created beings. And their first job was to sing. While God was creating the earth and everything in it, they were singing before Him. How powerful is that? Millions and millions and billions of them. While He was crafting the earth, putting the mountains and the grass and putting the ocean, Bible says they were singing and they were shouting with joy. It means when a mountain popped up and they saw how beautiful it was, they shouted, yeah, come on now. They shouted with joys. They cheered God in creation. When there was nothing, His sons stood like a choir and sang and shouted at His marvelous work.